Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I wanted to talk about a dinosaur that doesn't really get brought up too often anymore. Right now, I want to go into the specific details surrounding the Diabolus Rex. So, as many of you will no doubt know by now, hybrid dinosaurs have been a thing in the Jurassic Park franchise for a very long time. But when it comes to the main big bad hybrid that would be used to push each story forward, there have really only been a handful of these creatures that have such notoriety. In the 1990s, there was of course the Ultimasaurus and the Doomsday Rex from two of the three cancelled animated series. And then much later in Jurassic World, we'd get to see the canon Indominus Rex introduced into the fourth film. However, before the Indominus made its breakthrough appearance in that movie, it was actually going through quite a lot of redesigns behind the scenes. Early on during the pre-Colin Trevorrow days, the idea behind the big bad dino in Jurassic Park 4 was going to be a completely made-up animal known as the Malusaurus. Unlike the Indominus, this dinosaur was not going to have any sort of hybridized DNA in its genome, and it would instead be completely fictional from its initial conception. But this didn't really seem like it was properly conveying the spirit of what Jurassic Park ultimately is, so this idea was abandoned in favor of the dinosaur hybrid story. Yet even then, there would still be some changes made before the Indominus Rex was finalized. You see, originally, the Diabolus Rex was what the main dinosaur in Jurassic World was going to be called before the word Indominus was chosen for use. Now, why is this so important? Well, for starters, the Diabolus Rex actually did make its way into Jurassic World through a pretty obscure and somewhat cryptic way. If you pay attention really close during the scenes where the people in the control room are tracking the animal, you can actually see that the icon that represents the Indominus is mistakenly labeled as the D-Rex instead of the I-Rex. Now, this tiny bit of trivia only exists because the name change from Diabolus to Indominus happened after the script was already written. So at one point in time, it was D-Rex that the production was going with before the finalization on the animal's name was made. Early concept art that took place before the finished Indominus design, and of course still after the Malusaurus had been tossed out, featured a very different looking character. Here we can see that the Diabolus Rex was depicted as being a very bright yellow and purple looking theropod. In my opinion, this is probably the most Giganotosaurus looking of the hybrid designs that was made in early concept art. And it's also the dinosaur that we see featured in scenes like the Apatosaurus kills and the initial gyrosphere attack. I'm not so sure when exactly the Indominus Rex would be given its final name designation, or really when the more white and monstrous looking animal was created, but these early depictions of the creature were in fact what they were going with before any of that stuff got made and created for the big screen. Personally, I have to say that I think the decision to go with the design that we actually got to see in the Jurassic World movie was the right call to make in retrospect. But I will say that the Diabolus early design concepts that look like a quilled Giga are really cool too. But something tells me that a brightly colored yellow animal probably wouldn't have had the same amount of creepiness to its pale white counterpart. Honestly, the coolest thing about the dinosaur apart from this concept art to me is the fact that in some weird way, it technically did make it into the movie through that simple control room mistake, which adds just another tiny bit of Jurassic trivia to an already vast amount of fun things to talk about. Now before I go, I'd like to thank all of my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. Guys, it seriously means the world to me that you've all continued to support me the way you do, and I never want you to ever forget that. Now I'd like to thank all of you for watching today's video, and hope you all enjoyed the content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you all in the next one, guys, and as always, take it easy.